Hey there, girlfriend. Ingafay here. Super excited to be here with you again today. Wanted to share another one of my coaching girlfriends with you, Patricia Leonard. She is an inspirational speaker and coach. And today she is going to teach us how to wear high heels in a flip-flop world. So basically what that translates out to be is to how to step out of your comfort zone. I am so excited to share Patricia with you, and we will see you inside. Hey, Patricia.
Hey, thank you for inviting me, and hello to all your listeners. We're going to have some fun today.
Yes, I am super excited to have you. Wanted to share you with my community, and I know that they're going to be dazed, glazed, and amazed by all the great information that you're going to share with us. So before we get into how to wear high heels in a flip-flop world, girl, we want to know a little bit about you, who you are, who you serve, and how you serve them.
Yes, sure. Thank you for all that nice introduction, too. Yes, again, I'm Patricia Leonard, and women have been my clients for years. And I've always encouraged them to start their businesses, to do things that you want to do. I came from Indiana, went through the corporate world, and then started my own business some 20 some years ago and moved to Nashville, Tennessee. When I got here, I got interested in acting and inspiring more people through my acting in speaking. And so that led me to write a book titled Wearing High Heels in a Flip-Flop World. Now, some might think that that's about shoes. It is not about shoes. It is about getting out of your comfort zone and stepping into a higher level of understanding of who you are. Because most of us don't value or celebrate who we are as women. And I think we're in a society now that we've got an opportunity. Yes, we've hit the glass ceiling and we've knocked it and we've crashed it. So this is for you if you're thinking about writing a book, if you're thinking about starting a business, if you're thinking about applying for a new career direction. I had a lady the other day, a CPA, came to me and said, Patricia, I don't want to do this anymore. My mom and dad encouraged me because they thought that was a good direction to go to get a good job. I said, well, what do you want to do? She said, well, I want to do something creative. We put a stake down, and this is one thing that's very important. If you're going to step out of your comfort zone, you got to step out of it and into your high heels thinking. So I asked her, what do you want to do? And she said, I want to do something creative. I want to go to New York. I don't know exactly what it is, but we had a conversation. And after that conversation, I asked her, so when are you going to leave this present job? She said, oh, I'd like to. I said, no, I didn't ask you what you'd like to do. I asked you when you're going to do it. And that's one thing that is very important. We have to put a date on ourselves about when we're going to do something, make a list or whatever. But anyway, she said, okay, I'm going to leave in 2 weeks. That's how much I should sign up, and I'll stay on and help them bring a new person on board. Guess what? Just by that declaration and getting clear about what she wants to do, in 2 weeks, a friend from college called her and said, what have you been doing? I've been thinking about you. She asked him what he's doing. And he said, well, I'm in a recruiting role now. He said, I thought about you the other day. We've got an open position. Do you see how it happens? I believe that God plants in our mind, our psyche, when it's time to get out of that flip-flop life. If you know that you're dreading doing something each day, then it's time. And I would say, get with somebody, whether it's me or Inga or whoever your coach might be, get with somebody, good friend, but get with a supportive group. That's another thing that's very critical. Networking is very important.
For sure. Because that's how we met, right?
That's exactly how we met. Right. And you just never know who you're going to run across.
Exactly. That is All right.
It makes life exciting, Inga.
Oh, for sure, for sure. So it sounds like you work with corporate women as well as entrepreneurs.
Yes.
And you are just on a mission just for people just to kind of walk out what they were destined to do. Would you agree with what that statement?
Oh, that is so true. And this is the society that we're in now, Inga. This is when we have that opportunity because everything is in a little bit of chaos right now.
Right.
And I know that we had 2020 was a year of hiding and all giving up on. No, it was not. It was a year to plant a seed in our soul that it's time to do something. And now we're beginning to wake up. I love it. I had somebody call me this morning and she said, I am so ready to move forward. I don't know what to do, but somebody told me to call you, Patricia.
Awesome.
So when you feel that nudge or that knowing within your soul, or you get a sign, sometimes you can be driving down the road and you see a sign and you say, that's a third time I've seen that same message. I think it must mean something. Yes. That's your knowing or your spirit or your soul's way to say, now is the time. Let's step out there.
For sure. For sure. Now, before, I know you were telling me about 3 things you should do when you're trying to share a point or a strategy, a new strategy with someone. Can you go over that with us? I would love to share that with the audience.
Okay. Yes, that was a thought that we had before we got on here. But yes, I was told by a male boss one time when I was giving a presentation and it was with a group of VPs and I had a great idea about what we should do. Right. And when we left, I said, why don't they listen to me? He said, well, I've got some feedback for you. He said, you've got great ideas. You're very smart when it comes to process and systems. And he said, put out 3 points. And it's always important because, and I love women, but we talk too much. So we over-explain ourselves. Perhaps that's a society we've been brought up in. But he said, bring out 3 points. This is what I think I was thinking about. This is the way we could go about it. And this is how we could finalize and get the groups involved. I don't care what your 3 points are, but just make 3 points out there because I think those are the ways. And ever since he told me that, I've been using that and it has worked. Even with my clients, if they'll come, what do you want? I ask them, why are you calling me? What can I give you? And how would you know when you've got the results? First of all, that directs me as a coach. And secondly, that makes them put something in the game too to say, okay, you're right. That's what I said. And so it doesn't mean they can't change, but I just want them to start with some point. And that's getting out of the flip-flop and stepping into your higher level of understanding, your own about what you want.
Oh, for sure. For sure. So basically what you're doing is you're having them to take ownership for their next level. Yes.
That's
and
it.
I totally agree with that. Totally agree.
Inga, as coaches, that we can tell them do this, do that. But in the end, are they going to get satisfied? The whole thing of a real effective coach, and I'm telling all of you ladies and men listening about your business, about your career goals, about whatever you're doing, writing a book or whatever. I think it's very important to have coaches, but not let them tell you what to do. Because I have seen coaches that, okay, this is what we do first. This is what we do second. It's okay to have a guide and to say, these are the processes we're going to do. But just like Inga said, you have to take responsibility because it doesn't teach you. It only makes you more dependent on somebody else to tell you, go this way or go that way.
Yes. I so agree with that. So agree with that. I know that is a key learning for leaders. I work with a lot of people in home-based businesses where they have downlines that they are working to encourage and motivate to do their business. And oftentimes you hear people to say, well, so-and-so didn't do this and I told them to do that. But just like you just said, have you asked them what they wanted? Did you make that a question that you asked from the beginning? Have you asked them about the results that they desired, similar to what you were just talking about?
Yes.
So then that way you can come up with a customized plan for that individual person, more so than trying to come up with something cookie cutter that you think is going to fit the mold for everybody. We all know that people are not cookie cutter. So talk a little bit about that. I'm curious your thoughts on that.
Well, you mentioned ownership. And I think that as coaches, if we don't come in with the plan totally laid out, but a process, I don't want this to be confusing, but I wrote a book a few years ago called The Now, How, and Wow of Success.
Wow,
so
like
it's
that.
Again, those three basic points. Now, where are you now? And what is it you're wanting? And what are the finances you have? What is the background you have? Then you go to the how. And how are you going to get there? So then you put a plan together, but you do that with them because they have to buy in or they're not going to do it. They just won't. And then the third thing is your wow, your it is not your destination. I should not say that, but the goal that you had for that 3-step process, the now, the how, and the wow is what you are going for. And so it keeps it in perspective. You're looking at all the things that you bring to what you want to do, the people that you know, the finances that you have to get there.
Exactly.
And you look at that first. It's like if you're starting your own business, you must put all those things together. And then the next thing is the how. What is the process? Okay, I'm going to talk to my friend who has a small business now. And I'm going to say, what did you do? And then celebration. I am all about, you must celebrate yourself at each point. And that's a wow. That's one of the steps of the wow, is to celebrate. Tell people what you've done, but maybe go out and buy yourself a flower or buy yourself a card and send it. But we don't celebrate enough because we're afraid people will think we're boasting about ourselves. No, if you don't celebrate, then other people won't celebrate their goals. And it's very important that we become influencers in this shifting society, whether we're a business owner, whether we're a career professional or what. We got to influence others too. Yeah.
Yes, I totally agree with you about the small wins. We have to celebrate those small wins because those small wins are what's going to eventually get us to that big win. That's really going to be the wow. So we got to celebrate the little wows. So when we get the big wow, because the little wows are going to get us the big wow, and it's going to help us motivate us along the way for sure. For sure.
And motivate others. You're right.
Exactly. Exactly. So tell me a little bit about your message artistry. I know you told me that that's some of the things that you do. I know messaging is so powerful in the world that we currently live in today. Kind of share that a little bit about that with my audience today.
Okay. The concept for me of a message artist is that we have to give something besides just words. So examples or metaphors, something that will stay with the person, because words are shallow and they'll just fall away and we'll go away. We'll be motivated and go away and we'll fall back into our flip-flop life. But so what I mean by message artists, one thing is the high heel shoe. So a lot of times I have a 3-foot high heel shoe, metal, and I'll take it with me to my speaking engagement. And talk about getting out of your flip-flop life. What is it you want to do next? Another aspect of my message artist is I dress up like a magician.
Mm-hmm.
And I talk and I take magic wands and pass them out to everyone. And I say, you're holding in your hand and in your soul the magic to what you want out of life. I think it was funny. I'm going to throw this little story in. I was speaking to a group of business men and women, professionals, and it was in a restaurant. And we were in a back room. And when I came out of the back room after everything was over, I had my magic hat on and my wand in my hand and my, dressed up like a magician. And there was a table with moms and dads and children. This little girl, 12 years old, ran over and she said, would you show us some magic? I had the opportunity. This was a group of young softball players that happened to be in Nashville, Tennessee for a tournament. So I went over and talked to them and I said, absolutely, I'm going to tell you about magic, not just to win the game, but about life. And I'm telling you, the moms and dads, and I asked them, they were 12 and 13 years old. And I said, do you understand what I'm saying? I asked the little girls, do you understand what I'm saying when I talk about the magic of life and that you can do it? I said, whether you win the game or whether you lose, have you created magic? And they, yes, because we got this far.
Right.
Absolutely. So children understand more than we adults do. We're so we're so caught up in society and the norms and following other people that children listen. Children listen. But anyway, I said, here's a magic wand for your team. And remember, whether you win or whether you lose, you won.
Yes, yes, yes. I so love the part that you were talking about making sure that you have stories or metaphors. This made me think about the little adage where they say, facts tell, stories sell. And you have those kind of analogies, things that people can really relate to and resonate with. It makes it so much better when you're telling a story because you're really capturing their attention and they feel like you're talking directly to them. And that's oftentimes, I think, is very important as entrepreneurs, especially in the direct sales space, whether we're selling our product or service or even our opportunity, that we have stories to tell about different things that are happening in other people's lives and all of that. So tell us, lastly, I did want to talk to you about how does this all tie into the runway of success?
Yes. Okay. Very good point, Inga. It is very important. If we want to get on our runway to success, the very first step is knowing who you are. You hide behind what we call women. You hide behind the entrepreneur title. You hide behind titles of this and that, and they are just masks. They are simply masks for you to avoid getting on with what you want. So it is very important, I think, that first step, remember the now down here?
Right.
How and wow. The now is very important for you to understand. And I always go back to Simon Sinek. I really like him a lot. He says, what is your why? So in the now, that's what you're going to look at. So the very first step is, and all of us get out there and we start to, I'm going to do this, and we write a business plan and and it doesn't mean anything.
Right.
Arts and crafts. Plans of mice and men can sometimes go asunder. So I'm telling you, it doesn't mean anything. You put all that glossy stuff on this person who doesn't know who they are, and they say, this is what I'm going to do. And they get all caught up in that and not who they are first. Because the more you know, you'll know those things that you won't follow through on. Am I going to do this? No, 2 or 3 times I've talked about writing a book and I haven't done it yet.
Right.
So I think that you have to take a look at yourself and say, what is my why?
Right.
Is it the right time? Why am I committed to this particular subject? Why do I think that I can make this business successful when 14 others of the same kind have failed? We've got to answer those questions, not for the world, but for our individual self.
Right.
Who are you is very, very important to know who you are. You know, I had a woman, and one more quick story, and I hope we've got
Okay.
time. But I had a woman that had been a mother all her life. Her husband supported the family, so she didn't work.
Mm-hmm.
The children were grown now, and she wanted to go out into the business world. She was a client of mine. And she said, but Patricia, I don't have any talents. So I sat her down and I said, did you run a budget for your family? Yes. Did you make sure that they accomplished the things as a family that they wanted to get done? And that might be go on vacations. Did you plan those events? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We went through a whole list of things. And I said, that's how we're going to set up your resume. Everybody gets all caught up in all this fancy stuff of how a resume is. And let me tell you, I have interviewed people my whole life, and what they have on their resume and who they are ain't the same person. But anyway, I wrote a resume with her.
Right.
And we talked about the budgeting experience, the collaboration, you know, the family collaboration, getting to event planning, marketing, going to fundraisers for. We went through all that. And guess what she got? A marketing job. A marketing job. Because, and this is true, everybody thinks, and people make millions of dollars writing resumes. It's ridiculous. I had a guy the other day, I looked at his resume and I said, what do these letters stand for? He said, show me, what is that? He said, I don't know.
Wow.
I said, you had somebody write this resume, did you? I said, go home and start over and learn who you are. You know, I am tough. I am tough. But I've got people all over the world that say, Patricia, you made a difference in my life because you hacked on me till I did it.
Right.
I don't let you get off. Don't come to me and say, oh, I'm going to do and I can't because I'm a woman and blah, blah, blah. I don't want to hear it.
I know that's right. I know that's right. That is so awesome. So I wanted to show your website. Tell us a little bit about this and how people can get in contact with you.
Okay. My website is patricialeonard.net. And when you click on that, it'll open up and say Runway to Success. Because all of my work is about finding your runway to success. Now, that doesn't only mean in business, that means in life. I have as many people coming to me that have life questions that they want to talk about as those who want to start businesses or get the next professional level in corporations.
Yes.
So it doesn't matter what your runway to success is. What matters is identify it.
Yes.
Then talk about how you see yourself approaching that, and then how you're going to celebrate and what you're going to do. I think the thing that is very important is we become victims and wah. And I had a woman that came to me and she was telling me how her husband wouldn't let her do this. It was horseback riding and be in a competition. And he was in the military. He wasn't even here. And she worked for a lawyer here in Nashville. And I said to her, when she told me, I said, wah. And then I had another young lady in Columbus, Georgia, when I was working at a mortgage company there. She said, well, Patricia, they were letting everybody go. It was closing. And she said, well, Miss Leonard, it's not easy for me to go out there and find it because I didn't complete my college. I've only got 3 years and I've got 3 children and I'm a single mom. What did I say? Wah. So about a year later, I got a card in the mail. True story, I swear on the Bible. It had a sunflower on the front. I opened it inside and she said, I did it. We will find a way to do what we want to do if we want it.
Yes.
So I'm sure she got her friends to help her with her children or whatever. Right. But you see, her life was improved because I went wah.
Yep. You didn't allow.
Don't play that victim game to me. When you come to me, if you go to my website and say you want to contact me, and you tell me, here's what I want to do, and I'll contact you back, and I'll ask you these questions. What is it? Why do you want to do it? What excited you about this? When are you going to do it?
Exactly.
So go online, go on my website, and if you want to talk to me, then all you have to do is tell me what you want. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, you definitely have been a firecracker treat for us today. We so appreciate all of your insight. If you all are interested in contacting Patricia, by all means, click that link. We're going to have it down in the description for you to get access to her. Thank you again, Patricia, for sharing your wisdom and knowledge with us. And as always, those of you that are watching, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time. Bye for now.
Thank you so much.